All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do a really quick market breakdown. First of all, I want to say that it's like 2 p.m. right now, or I mean 2 a.m. right now, so I'm a little bit tired, but let's see what we can do. First of all, we start on the monthly time frame. What you can see here is that we came from the lows. Yeah, we rallied up very hard, like one, two, three, four, five bullish up candles on the monthly. We hit rejection block, also the weekly block. I will show it later. And we pushed through, formed a breaker here because it was the last push up. Broke mark structure here, slow, broke down, pushed up without any form of resistance. So this is a breaker. Pushed up, closed above, even close above the wick. So that's a valid breaker. And then we retested it, pushed up, and then we had a big rally up. And now we are seeing some sell-off, as you can see, long wicks, first bearish candle, and now we are about to form the second bearish candle. Depends on the monthly close, which is in about a week from now. It will be interesting to see, but for now I'm still bullish on the higher time frames because we basically broke this high, the swing high basically, this high, even broke this high, but never closed above. So we only close above these two highs. So for now I'm still bullish on higher time frames until we basically get below the Q of this block. Basically, yeah, maybe because below this block. Below this block, I'm going to be concerned a little bit. But still, for now, I'm still bullish long term, or on the high time frames at least. But it could change. Let's get in some more details. Oh, yeah, wait, one more thing I wanted to notice. As you can see, this is bearish order block, last up candle before the move down. Let me draw the EQ on this one. There, EQ. Let me draw it down, something like this. And as you can see, we have never managed to close above the midpoint of this bearish order block. Rejection, rejection, and third rejection. And every rejection was lower, which means yeah, the price is weakening. So there's also indication, it's an indication that we could push lower from here. Maybe roll some lower, it's just organic price because we read it very hard. And now I get a pullback. And I expect this pullback to be very slow bleeding on the higher time frames. So the monthly order flow for now is bearish because yeah, we are in a retracement right now. And I expect a little bit lower, maybe round off above here, push up, or maybe this EQ here. And I will show some more details as we go over to the weekly. Here's the weekly chart. And basically the same story. We have this level here, never tested it, formed triple low, triple bottom, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, and never tested it. So this is also a level I'm looking at. If we do break down, it could take a lot of time for getting here, but I don't even think we are going to get there because we have this strong weekly bullish order block right here, which is untested, avoid above. So yeah, and also some lows. So if we if we break down here, I expect this level to hold. And if not, we can get some slow, maybe a strong wick into this level and then go up. If we lose this block here, if we lose this on a weekly close or a monthly close, I think this entire move was pure manipulative and we are going lower. But that's far from where we are now. It could take some time, but price will tell at this point. So yeah, what we have now. We have rallied into this weekly order block. Everyone knew about it. I mean, everyone saw it. Big strong wick. Big sellers came in. They pushed up again. Failed to breach this high. Basically a lower high. And we went down. Another bounce. Also failed to get this high. Lower high again. And now we are going smashing this weekly order block. I don't really like this weekly order block to be, yeah, because we never broke a mark structure here. So this order block is basically low probability for me if I played lower time frames. And every the price is fractal, so when I play the lower time frames, I also play the higher time frames and vice versa basically. So now we are on top of this weekly order block, the monthly open. We have the monthly open here. It's holding right now. It's also lining up with the EQ, the equilibrium, the midpoint basically of this order block. And it will be, I really don't know what's going to happen here. It could reject here, hold this low and move higher. What also is what I was looking at. I was looking at this order block here. This one basically. We never touched it. Look, we front run it with a few dollars. See that? So there's also something to keep in mind because usually price doesn't leave these kind of higher time frame levels open. So it's also something to keep in mind that we can basically bounce off this and also take this high into this block and then move lower. So that's also something I'm keeping in mind right now. Let me remove this. Now it's irrelevant. Just something to keep in mind. So that was basically the weekly. So for now I'm unbiased. I think if we get below this, close below the monthly open, also the EQ of this block, I think we can roll lower, take out these high into this block. It's basically my game plan for the weekly. Let's go to the daily. So this chart. What we have here. So yeah, I'm looking at the daily chart here. For me, we are basically trapped within two levels. We have this daily order block here. We bounce here from the swing low, pushed up, took these highs out, then pushed lower. Formed a higher low based on this low, formed a higher low, and we and price pushed up really hard, and we long like 3 setups in here, something from here, there, and there. Then price moved lower aggressively. Yeah, there was an order block here. I didn't take a short here. I think yeah, it blew very hard. And now with this untested order block, we came lower. Didn't take anything out significantly. There was no swing low that was to be taken out. That there was this order block here, very tiny little order block, which was it's looking very inside right now, but yeah, with this order block here tested. I would never take a setup from something like this, you know. I don't care. Bounce of this, very precise, but I really don't care about that shit because it's not something you wanna play with. To be honest, it could easily breach because this is not, for me, not a valid order block. It's really low, very small little body. I don't like this. But for now, we are basically trapped, in my opinion. I call it, or ICT mainly calls it, trapped order flow because we have liquidity above marketplace and liquidity below marketplace. So you're going to ask yourself a question: how is the market structure looking? So with a higher low here, right? Basically equal lows now if you look at the daily, but we had a higher low here, pushed up, broke this high. But the higher time frame market structure was bearish because, or I mean, not certainly bearish, but we are forming bearish structure because with a high here, lower high here, then we push down the low here, a higher low here, pushed up, broke this high, but we still have these highs, so we are still bearish at this point. Then we push down lower, pushed up, at this point, yeah, it's really trapped, you know. It's very tight. I can't really frame swing plays on this chart right now because we also have this mitigation block here, daily mitigation block, and we're close below the EQ of that, and also tested the body as you can see here. But I don't like this. I like my mitigation blocks or breakers after price hitting an order block or taking a swing high or something like that to be high probability. But we left this order block untouched, and we also have a swing high now above, uh, below the level. So it's a huge liquidity pool resting above here, and we also have a huge liquidity resting above here, and we are trading in the midpoint of both sides, you know. So for taking a swing trade, I want either this to happen, price moves lower, take these highs out, pushes up, some consolidation, maybe a sweep, and then push up, and we can look for longs and targeting for this area here, you know. Or the other way around, we get above here, boom, push up, hit this order block, boom, push down, form a lower time frame breaker, and then we can short from there, and then aim for these highs again. It looks messy here, but I will show it on the lower time frames. Because I don't like to take setups from the midpoint of two liquidity pools right now. So that's why this mitigation block is low probability for me. I don't like it, it's not relevant for me to frame setups. So yeah, the conclusion is we are basically trapped between two liquidity pools, and we are now below the midpoint a little bit. So it could take price lower and take this low out and these equal lows here. Let me go over to the H4 first. So the H4. Yeah, the H4. I was looking at this H4 breaker. Last down candle before the move order broke mark structure, basically this high and this high. Then we pushed down aggressively, taking out this high, and we took out this high, and this, lows, and this low is still untouched. And we're rolling over a little bit. I think we took some highs here. I'm gonna show. We took this high out. I don't know if we took this high as well. And put Nectar mode on. Yeah, we also took. Also took this high out. It's not really high, but it's above the order block. And now we're pushing lower. I really wanted to see price get above here and form some structures, you know. You can also put limits here and stop above, but I like to play my setups live. So what I want to see is price. What the fuck's this squiggle shit? Let me go to the hourly and show it better. What I want to see basically for a short, because let me see. I told you all that I like to sell in premium and buy in discount, right? We have this latest high here, and have this low here. Let me draw it here. And above the midpoint, the 0.5 is premium for me if bearish. Yeah. We also have this breaker here, which is lining up with this zone, you know. Everything above this is premium. I want to sell in premium, not below. Our R is basically shitty, and the probability are low. The probabilities are lower, basically. So what I want to see, basically, is we have this order block here. I was looking at it and tested. Also monthly open. We are below now, but we can wick and go above. What I want to see, something like this, push up here, get in here very aggressively, then reject, maybe more tap, and then lower. I want the higher low to form, and then we can sell. Or a breaker, you know. If you get something like this, get below, push, then you have to breaker here. It's basically less down, push up, then we have a breaker and we can sell. That's basically what I'm looking at. And I haven't seen anything like that happening for now. Because for me, it sounds boring for most of you all, but let me draw this fib again. From this high to this low. Above here is premium, you know. We also have a void here. So I really want to see price balancing this out, hit the breaker and reject and move lower. Everything below here basically for me is I'd rather stay out, you know. Save my bullets and bitcoins and wait for price to get in premium. I don't want to sell here or buy here or anything. It's not my zone to trade, you know. Because we are basically trapped between two levels, like I said in a daily. Yeah. Why do you want to trade without the institutional sponsorship? You want one-sided order flow. Take out the high, liquidity taken, and then push lower aggressively. And for now, we are still stuck in this shit. You know, we're stuck in between two levels on the daily. There's no real direction right now because we have liquidity below and above, and we're stuck in between. So why do you want to trade lower lower time frame swings or something like that? You know, you can do scalping, of course. If you go to the M1, let me remove this shit. Let me remove this. Flip to 50 maybe. 5 better maybe. If you go here, you can scalp. You know, here equal lows swept out. Boom. Aim for the equal highs here. We have a breaker here. You see? We have a breaker here on the M5. Remove this one. We have a breaker, yeah. Push up before the move down. They broke this broke the low. Push up, retest, and then you can aim for these highs. You know. There are plenty of setups on the lower time frame, but I don't like to play the lower time frames on Bitcoin because the main reason for that is if I'm playing the lower time frames on BTC, yeah, and I'm basically playing this breaker, this example, yeah, I'm longing from this, stop below here, I target this or something, 2R, but my stop is like $100, you know, and if I'm playing with $100 stop, something like that, and price just fucking nukes out of nowhere on BitMEX, the slippage will be fucking insane, you know. And with scalping, you're playing with high, very large position sizes because stop distance is very small. So you can play with a bigger size, you know. And it's the same basically. But if you get these fucking new candles, you get slipped very hard and you risk more than 5%. If you were planning to risk 2, for example, yeah. So yeah, for me, it's I would rather play forex for that because the market is highly liquid, almost no slippage, such things. It happens sometimes, but it's very rare. So for now, what I'm looking at are two scenarios, like I outlined earlier. This hourly order block. We have a swing low here, right above this order block. You could see price do something like this, move lower, hit it, get up, hit this, and then lower. But I'm not planning to long this anymore because we're also near this low. You could also easily take that out and maybe move lower, get slipped out as well. So what I'm looking at is at this point is shorts only, basically only shorts in this level. I'm not playing with limit orders as well because we can just push up, you know, and then find support and even go higher because we took this out. Also this void here, you see, still untested. Some levels above here as well, all untested. Everyone that went short here are in heavy profits, you know. Price never reached that or something. Everyone is short this heavy profit, and then he went up, pushed down. So if you do find support above this, where do you think price will go to next? Everyone that was short here, yeah. Everyone that's short here is panicking right now. if this is going to happen, you know. Other stops are basically above here, maybe above this. So if you find support on this, you can easily push up, you know, because Bitcoin is very it's on very low volume. Let me another indicators. I never use this basically. I'll check over volume. Oh, it's a decent volume as well. Never mind. But yeah, if you find support above this and you push up here, I think we're going. My eyes are at this level right here because everyone that went short here are still in heavy profits, very comfy, you know. And if we find support here, I think we're going to hit this level again. But that is only if we push above here, find support, take out these highs. And of course, we're going to reject a little, or maybe consolidate, and then push up. Then my eyes are here. But this is also a scenario that I'm looking at for later, if it plays out. So I'm not going to put limits in here. I'm just not going to do it because the reason because of that is, like I mentioned earlier, we are still in this daily range, and it's basically a range, you know. Price push up, and then we are we're now in the midpoint of that. So I'm not really fan of putting limits here because we also have this end-test order block here, which probably also lines up with the level here. Yeah, this basically also lines up with the level here. So what I want to see, I really like to play the sweeps and stuff, you know, on the lower time frames on the M5 or the M15. And if I see these bearish scenarios play out at the level I'm looking at, only then I'm taking a setup. So if we get there, like I mentioned, maybe consolidate a little bit, maybe one more sweep, boom, reject, and then I saw a break or something, you know. That's what I'm looking at. Of course, you can put limits. You can put limits here, stop above there, and get stopped out, you know. It's also not really a big deal, but if you wanna if you wanna play the lower time frames, then I would just suggest to wait for price to hit this, maybe reject a little bit, consolidate a little bit, and then one more sweep and then lower. That's basically what I'm looking at, and then aim for the high here.